Hello, Empowered Woman. Welcome to this episode of the Empowered Woman Podcast. Today, I want to talk about the number one reason why your vision board won't come true. Whether you've already made your vision board for 2020 or not, I highly encourage you to take a listen because I will be covering a very important and overlooked step in goal setting. This is actually the audio extracted from a training I did inside my Facebook group, the Empowered Woman Community, where I explained an amazing exercise we do inside my membership, the Empowered Woman School. I also make an invitation at the end for you to join us and share more details on this amazing group for women entrepreneurs that you definitely need to become a part of. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Empowered Woman Podcast, the number one show on personal growth, visibility, and profit for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to start believing in yourself, giving yourself permission to succeed, and let your voice be heard to make an impact in the world as an entrepreneur, this is the place for you. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marta Spurk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode. So I'm super excited to share with you, where are my slides? Something that you may not have heard before, something different when it comes to setting goals and when it comes to vision boards. So here we are, the number one reason why your vision board won't work. And the number one reason is an overlooked step that can keep you stuck. So I would love to hear first and foremost from those of you watching, have you made your vision board? Are you in the process? Are you still going to work on it? So let me know in the comments if you have or not. And then I am excited to share with you a little bit more about this overlooked step. So I always like to start with a quote, you know me. And I want you to think about this. Work toward goals from a place of inspiration rather than achievement dependency. Let that sink in. Are the goals in your vision board just because you want to say, hey, I accomplished this, and it's going to be a fleeting moment of well-being or a fleeting moment of fulfillment? Or is it because it's an inspired action and you're really looking into the impact that you're going to have in somebody else's life? Is it a self-serving goal? This is what I want you to think about, because as entrepreneurs, more than anything, I mean, all human beings, but as entrepreneurs, we need to be taking account of our intentions. Is it serving others or is it self-serving? Because this is going to make a difference in you accomplishing that goal. Whether you accomplish it or whether you accomplish it and not feel fulfilled, and it's just one other thing, and then you move on to the next, or whether it is that you don't accomplish it and you feel awful about yourself and you beat yourself up. So I'd love for you to pay close attention to that. Are you working towards a goal from a place of achievement dependency, or is it from a place of inspiration, from a place of service? And now I want you to ask yourself, is the pursuit of your goal actually making you less happy with your life? Because if you are looking to accomplish the things in your vision board to feel good about yourself, something's off. You should be feeling good about yourself now. That does not mean that we can't look for improvement, but if we are in a space of lack of gratitude and in a space of scarcity, that vision board means nothing. And if anything, it means more stress, because when you look at it and you don't accomplish, you beat yourself up. Or when you do accomplish it, you look for the next thing. So pay close attention to this as we start this new year. As you know, we got January in the books, and now it's officially the new year. What do you want out of this year? And is it a self-serving goal? Especially as entrepreneurs, I'm saying this. Or is it something that you're looking to achieve so that you can create more impact and transform more lives? Okay. And so in other words, when you are dependent on validation, you are a slave to it. Have you ever thought of it that way? And for the longest time, I used to think that the whole concept of wanting validation with my content had to do with the fact that I'm a performer. I like being in front of people. I'm a type 3 on the Enneagram. But what I understood is that every entrepreneur is high achieving. Every entrepreneur is overwhelmed. This is what the definition of entrepreneurship is in so many ways, is feeling overwhelmed, a balancing act, wearing a billion hats, especially as you start out as a solopreneur. And so we are all seeking for that validation with our business. And that's our obstacle, right? And that's what keeps us stuck. So if you are depending on validation for your business, you're imprisoned by the need to accomplish instead of inspired to give with your gifts. Are you doing this because you see the potential that the transformation you can provide has? Or are you doing this just to validate your idea and feel good about yourself? Some tough love here for you guys, because this is what I've been doing with myself, and it's made such a difference in my business. I've been able to take off so much stuff off my plate when I realize, oh my gosh, I'm doing this just because I want to be liked. I'm doing just because I want to be recognized. And then I can take that off and say, I don't need to do that anymore because I can do that myself. Okay. So this is really what we're going to get into here today. Typically, the thing you are seeking in your goal is the exact thing you are withholding from yourself, meaning you don't have to reach that goal to achieve that. You can do it right now. And that is going to actually open up the way for you to achieve more. Maybe not even the goal that you think you need to achieve. And that's what's going to help you actually create better goals, because they're going to be of service instead of self-service. Let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if this is making you think a little bit harder about why things are not going the way you expect them to go, or why you may be frustrated with your business. It's because your heart is not in the right place. So pay close attention to that, and how you can be, and how you may be withholding something from yourself that you're looking to get from your business, from your audience. And once you start learning to nurture yourself instead, things are going to start falling into place, because that's what I have been experiencing. So I'm saying all of this because I am guilty. I admit it. I have for a long time looked for validation through my business, and it was not from a place of service. And once I started paying attention to that, recognizing that and shifting it, things started to change. Okay. So here are some tips you've probably heard before when it comes to do this and you're going to achieve all the dang goals in that vision board. Focus on what you want to feel, not what you want. How many of you have heard that? What is the feeling that you're looking for when you buy that house, when you get that car, when you sign that contract, when you get that client? What is the feeling that you're looking for? Oh, a feeling of fulfillment, a feeling of freedom, the feeling of whatever it is. And typically that's what the gurus say to do, because you can feel that now. You can find ways of feeling that now, right? And that's what's going to get you closer to reaching that goal. You probably heard set actionable goals, right? Not just saying, I will make $1 million, actually breaking it down. What does that look like? What do I have to be making every single month? And crossing that off to say, I'm on track to $1 million. I'm on track to that six-figure business. Cool. Those are great tips. And another tip you may have heard, place it somewhere you'll see it, so that you're constantly reminding yourself. That's why visualization is so important, so that you're keeping that in mind. But what they may not tell you is all of the pressure that there is behind all of this. Because what if you set your actionable goals, and to make sure you're on track to that six-figure business, you should have made a certain amount of money in January and you did not? Then how do you feel about yourself when you look at that vision board that you placed it strategically to remind yourself of what you need? Won't you feel crappy about yourself and feel like, wow, I am off track? I guess my vision board is not coming true. I'm going to show you a way that is going to really revolutionize how you look at your goals, because it's going to come from a place of love for yourself instead of hatred and self-loathing for when you do not reach what's on that board. I'm preaching here, you guys. I'm on fire. So here are the tips you haven't heard before. I want you to work backwards from your goal and find out why you want to reach that. And then instead of looking for the feeling, I want you to look for how you're withholding that feeling from yourself. If you're looking for the feeling of freedom, How are you withholding yourself the feeling of freedom right now? If you're looking for that fulfillment, how are you withholding the feeling of fulfillment from yourself right now? And what can you do to change that? So that's step number one. And step number two is creating gratitude, reminding yourself of past goals accomplished. And this is really the ticket here. So let's go with the first one. How do you work backwards on the why? So you put that beautiful car on your vision board, right? That beautiful house or whatever it is. What are you looking to feel with that? And instead of just saying, oh, I'm wanting to feel valuable and validated, and I can feel valuable and validated right now, I want you to find ways to validate yourself and also think of the ways you have been withholding validation from yourself. How have you been withholding validation from yourself? And that's why you're looking at that goal to say, I can feel validated when I reach that. Why can't you feel validated now? You see how that takes off the pressure of yourself to perform to get to that? And it puts you in a place of abundance where whether you have that or not, you're fine, which means the path for that thing to come to you is a lot clearer than before. Oh, I'm just trying to be helpful. I want to feel helpful. I want to feel needed. How are you withholding that feeling from yourself now? And how can you find ways to help yourself now? What is it that you feel? And feel free to name the feelings here. What do you want to feel when you reach that goal of buying that house or reaching the 6 figures or whatever? And how can you find ways of making yourself feel that right now? Okay, so this is the first step. And the second step is practicing gratitude. And how do you practice gratitude? You look at your timeline, you look at your past. So the vision board is for the future. One step that gets overlooked when you're preparing your vision board is you haven't looked at all the things you've done because you're so consumed in the achievement trap and the achievement addiction of the next thing you're going to reach. You're too busy to look back and see that you're amazing just as you are right now. And there are many things you have already accomplished that are great. Okay, so so I've shared my business timeline here in the group before. I'm not going to go into the details. I've actually made a podcast episode on that. And if you're interested in listening to it, I can send you the number, but it's a pretty recent one. And this is an exercise that has made such a difference for me. I'm actually implementing this with my clients so that you are in the space of, oh my gosh, I've done so much. So that when you look at that goal, it doesn't feel the same way as it did before. It feels a lot less overwhelming. This is what all of us entrepreneurs should be looking for, is to feel less overwhelmed, right? And so this is how do you practice gratitude for your business and for what you've done? Simply put on a piece of paper the day you started your business, the year you started your business. What all did you do there, right? If somebody asked you, what all did you do that first year? What all did you do the second year? What all did you do the third year? Take account of all of that and you will see the pride and the empowerment that comes through that. And I shared this inside my group, the Empowered Woman School, which is my membership. And it was funny to see some of the responses from my members when I said, this is the exercise of the week. We're going to work on our business timeline, what we have accomplished until right now. And then one of them said, my biz timeline is not even a year old. So it's so interesting how we're so quick to say, I haven't accomplished enough, because we're always looking forward. And then that's why I said, look at all of what you've done. List the programs you've invested in, every single thing. And then somebody else, Bella, commented, what do you suggest for us? I'm a baby too, only 3 months old into the business. So turn into months rather than years. Yes, if your business is new, turn into months, turn it into weeks, turn it into days. Include as many details as possible, I said here. The first everything. And when you think about a love story, if you were to think about, your love story with your spouse or you're having kids, when you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what we did. And we took that trip and, oh, we had that episode. We had to take you to the doctor. It just makes you feel so much more empowered into all the things you have already tackled, all the obstacles you have overcome. It gives you strength to keep moving forward. Right. And then Bella was so amazing. She did it like the next day. She already, there's a little preview here. I didn't put her actual timeline, but it's down here. She already did it. And we're going to be reviewing that tomorrow. And this is what I want to leave you with. What would it feel like to be a little more patient with yourself? This is what this exercise really is. Encouraging you to be a little bit more patient with yourself and more loving and more accepting. Are you ready to learn how to practice gratitude for yourself and your business so that you do reach those goals? And in fact, even maybe change those goals now that you understand the reasoning and the intentions behind that. And I want to invite you to the Empowered Woman School. So this is my membership. We meet 3 times a month and we meet every Friday morning. So tomorrow is our first meeting of the month. And we're going to be talking just about that, how to create gratitude for yourself and for your business. We're going to be looking at our business timeline. And I want to invite you to join us. You can just go to marciaspirk.com/empowered school. And this is what you get. You get the members portal with all the content, all the recordings. You get the 3 group coaching calls per month. And you also get guest expert trainings. I bring in guests monthly to teach us on the topic of the month. And it's only $37 a month. You can cancel at any time. So I would highly encourage you to go and join us. I will pop the link here in the video once I'm done. And this is what we're doing tomorrow. So you could join us tonight, hop on the call tomorrow, and talk about your business timeline and find that appreciation and that gratitude for yourself. And I'm so excited to see if any of you are wanting to hop on to experiment, try it out for a whole month. And you get all these 3 calls. You get access to the whole content. You also get a 30-minute one-on-one with me when you first join, for new members only. And I am so excited. And I'll be sharing more weekly, doing more of these lives, sharing a little bit more of the assignments and the exercises that we do inside the school to encourage you to join us so that you do achieve those goals, but from a place of inspiration, not from a place of desperation. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if it brought in some thoughts that you hadn't really considered. And yeah, I'll pop the link here and let me know if you have any questions. I would be super, super thrilled and excited to have you in the Empowered Woman School, to celebrate you and your business and not look at that vision board with resentment for yourself if, come July, you haven't achieved everything that you had hoped for, but actually from a place of self-acceptance and self-love, because that comes through in your content. So let's practice some gratitude. Join me inside the Empowered Woman School. We meet tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, and I'll pop the link here once I'm done. I would love to have you. There you have it. What did you think about this perspective when it comes to vision boards? Had you ever thought of it like that? I would love to hear your takeaways. Do let me know your thoughts. And about the Empowered Woman School, so we meet 3 Fridays out of the month. And we already had our meeting last week where we talked about the timeline and developing this gratitude for ourselves. And we're going to meet this Friday, and it's all going to be about content creation. It's going to be a co-working session that we do together to create content, to bounce ideas off of each other. So you can hop right on in. Just go to marciaspirk.com/empowered school. The link is in the show notes. I hope to see you there. Until next time, bye.